If your car manual says 0W-20, but the exact same engine in Europe runs 5W-30, which oil actually protects your engine better? The answer isn't what mechanics tell you. We analyzed over 10,000 real-world oil samples from certified laboratories. What we found will change how you think about motor oil forever. And the answer to which oil causes more wear? It shocked us. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which oil your engine needs based on data, not marketing hype. Here's what we're covering. First, why American cars use thinner oil than identical engines overseas, and what that means for your engine's lifespan. Second, which viscosity actually causes more wear? The answer contradicts what most people believe. Third, the one critical factor that determines whether your oil protects or destroys your engine, and most drivers never check this. Fourth, how to choose the right oil for maximum reliability, even if it differs from your owner's manual. This isn't about brand loyalty. This is about what happens inside your engine when metal meets metal at 200 degrees and 7,000 RPM. Before we compare which oil performs better, we need to address why this debate even exists. Because the truth, it's not about engineering, it's about regulations and profit margins. Take the 2023 Toyota Camry with the 2.5-liter four-cylinder. If you buy this car in the United States, your owner's manual specifies 0W-20 oil, period. But buy the exact same engine, same pistons, same bearings, same tolerances in Europe or Asia, the manual says you can use 5W-30. Same engine, different oil. Why? The answer is CAFE, corporate average fuel economy standards. Every automaker selling cars in the US must meet strict fuel economy targets set by the EPA. Fall short, they face massive fines, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars. Thinner oil like 0W-20 reduces internal friction, improving fuel economy by about 1 to 2%. That might not sound significant, but across an entire fleet of vehicles, it can mean the difference between meeting CAFE standards or paying enormous penalties. So manufacturers aren't specifying 0W-20 because it's necessarily the best oil for your engine. They're doing it because it helps them avoid government fines. Here's the key takeaway. The fact that the same engine uses 5W-30 in other countries proves that thicker oil won't harm your engine. But it doesn't automatically mean 0W-20 is bad either. The real question is, which one actually provides better protection? Let's look at the data. Here's where internet experts and poorly researched videos get it completely backward, and it's costing people money. You've probably heard this claim. 0W-20 is too thin. It breaks down faster than 5W-30. Your engine will wear out quicker. Sounds logical, right? Thicker oil should be more stable. But when we analyzed over 10,000 real oil samples from actual vehicles, we found the exact opposite. According to certified oil analysis labs, 5W-30 oils shear out of grade 40% of the time. Meanwhile, 0W-20 oils shear out of grade only 20% of the time. That's right, 5W-30 is twice as likely to lose viscosity compared to 0W-20. The claim that 0W-20 breaks down faster is statistically false. Here's why. Motor oil uses viscosity modifiers, long-chain polymers that help oil maintain its thickness across different temperatures. The wider the viscosity range, the more polymers are needed. A 5W-30 has a bigger gap between its cold and hot viscosity compared to 0W-20, meaning it needs more additives. And those polymers, they shear apart under stress, especially in modern engines with tight tolerances and high pressures. 0W-20 has a narrower viscosity split, which means fewer polymers, which means better stability. Now there's an exception. Extreme multi-grade oils like 0W-40 or 5W-50 sacrifice stability for broader temperature range, so they're more prone to shearing. So if someone tells you 0W-20 breaks down faster, they're repeating an outdated myth. The data proves otherwise. But, and this is critical, there's something even more important than which oil you start with. It's which viscosity you end up with after 5,000 miles. And that's where things get interesting. Because here's the game changer nobody talks about, and it explains everything. It's not enough to know which oil shears less. What really matters is this: does the oil stay within its intended viscosity grade throughout the entire oil change interval? This is called staying in grade, and it's the single most important factor in engine protection. Let me show you two scenarios. When 0W-20 and 5W-30 both stay within their viscosity specifications, average wear metals like iron, copper, aluminum are nearly identical. 0W-20 actually shows slightly lower wear in some cases, though the difference is statistically insignificant. Both oils provide excellent protection, but when oils shear and fall below their minimum viscosity rating, things change dramatically. 5W-30 that shears out of grade still performs decently. Wear increases slightly, but remains acceptable. However, 0W-20 that shears out of grade, wear spikes dramatically. Why? Because when 0W-20 gets even thinner, dropping below its minimum spec, it no longer provides enough film strength to protect critical engine components. Think of it like this. Imagine spreading butter on toast. If you spread it too thin, you'll see bare spots where the bread shows through. That's what happens when oil gets too thin. Metal-to-metal contact occurs at cam lobes, piston rings, and turbo bearings. 0W-20 is already on the thinner side. If it shears down further, you're in the danger zone. Here's the truth most people miss. It's not what viscosity you start with, it's what viscosity you end with that determines engine reliability. 0W-20 can provide equivalent protection to 5W-30 as long as it stays in grade, but if it shears down, that's when problems begin. And if you think oil shearing is bad, there's another hidden problem that makes it 10 times worse. Most drivers have no clue it's happening in their engine right now. The problem is fuel dilution. Modern direct injection engines, especially turbocharged ones, are prone to a sneaky issue: gasoline washing past the piston rings and mixing with the engine oil. This happens most during cold starts, before the engine reaches operating temperature. It happens during short trips, city driving less than 10 miles per trip, and it happens during winter conditions, with more cold starts and longer warm-up times. In extreme cases, fuel dilution can reach 3 to 8% of total oil volume. Now here's where it gets dangerous. If you have 0W-20 that's already sheared slightly, plus fuel dilution on top of that, your oil viscosity can drop to the equivalent of 5W-10 or even lower. At that point, you no longer have adequate HTHS, high temperature, high shear viscosity. Critical components like camshaft lobes, turbocharger bearings, piston ring lands start experiencing metal-to-metal contact. Wear accelerates, oil consumption increases, eventually engine failure. This is why some engines that should be fine on 0W-20 end up with premature wear. It's not the oil's fault alone. It's the combination of shearing plus fuel dilution creating a perfect storm, and most drivers never know it's happening until it's too late. This particularly affects Honda 1.5-liter turbo engines, Ford EcoBoost models, Hyundai Kia Theta 2 engines, and any direct injection turbocharged 4-cylinder. If you drive one of these engines and do mostly short trips in cold weather, your 0W-20 might be getting dangerously thin without you realizing it. Now, before you panic and switch oils, here's something critical you need to understand. Not all 0W-20 oils are created equal. When we analyzed oil samples across different brands, we found massive differences in shear stability, even among oils meeting the same API and ILSAC specifications. Some premium synthetic 0W-20 oils maintained viscosity within spec through the entire 7,500-mile oil change interval. Other brands, including some expensive premium oils, sheared out of grade by 3,000 to 5,000 miles. And here's the kicker: price doesn't always correlate with performance. Some affordable oils outperformed luxury brands. So how do you know which brands actually stay in grade? 3 ways. Number 1, look for the API resource conserving specification. This rating has tighter shear stability requirements than standard API SN or SP ratings. Number 2, check independent oil analysis databases. Websites like Bob is the Oil Guy and Speedy Agnostics publish real-world test data showing which brands maintain viscosity. Number 3, avoid extreme multi-grade oils unless your manufacturer specifically requires them. Oils like 0W-40, 5W-50, and 10W-60 are more likely to shear. Stick with narrower splits like 5W-20 or 5W-30 when possible. The difference between a good 0W-20 and a poor one isn't just performance, it's whether your engine lasts 200,000 miles or needs a rebuild at 120,000. Alright, so after analyzing 10,000 engines, here's exactly what you should do to maximize your engine's reliability. If your manual specifies 0W-20, stick with quality 0W-20 if you drive in normal conditions, not extreme heat or cold. If you do short oil change intervals, 5,000 miles or less. If you use a proven premium synthetic brand. And if your engine doesn't have direct injection or turbocharging. However, consider upgrading to 5W-20 or 5W-30 if you drive in extreme heat, Southwest US, summer temperatures above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, if you tow heavy loads or drive aggressively, if you do extended oil changes, 7,500 miles or more, if you have a high mileage engine, 150,000 miles or more, or or if you have a turbocharged direct injection engine prone to fuel dilution. If your manual allows multiple grades, like 0W-20 or 5W-30, choose the narrower viscosity split for better stability. 5W-20 is more shear stable than 0W-20. 5W-30 is more shear stable than 0W-40. 10W-30 is more shear stable than 10W-60. But here's the ultimate way to know for sure. Get a used oil analysis. For $30 to $40, you can send a sample of your used oil to a lab like Blackstone Labs or Speed Diagnostics. They'll measure viscosity, did your oil stay in grade, wear metals, iron, copper, aluminum, how much metal is coming off your engine, and fuel dilution, how much gasoline contamination. The target you're looking for is less than 5 parts per million of wear metals per 1,000 miles. If you're below that threshold and your oil stayed in grade, your current setup is working perfectly. Don't change it. If wear metals are high or viscosity dropped out of grade, time to switch brands or go to a higher viscosity. One last thing. What about your warranty? Most manufacturer warranties allow you to use oils that meet or exceed their specifications. The key phrase to look for in your owner's manual is "or higher viscosity." For example, if your manual says 0W-20 or equivalent, using 5W-30 typically won't void your warranty, as long as it meets the required API and ILSAC specs. But always verify your specific manual's language or ask your dealership in writing. So the next time someone tells you 0W-20 is destroying modern engines, or that 5W-30 is always better, you'll know they're repeating myths instead of looking at real data. The truth is simpler than most people think. Use oil that stays in grade for your specific driving conditions, and verify it works with oil analysis. Your engine doesn't care about the number on the bottle. It cares about the viscosity at operating temperature after 5,000 miles of real-world driving. And now you know exactly how to give it what it needs. Speaking of products that claim to protect your engine, we just tested 10 of the most popular fuel injector cleaners on the market. 7 of them did absolutely nothing, complete waste of money. But 3 of them, they actually worked, and the results were measurable. We're talking improved fuel economy, smoother idle, better acceleration. The difference between the ones that work and the ones that don't will shock you. Click the video on screen now to see which fuel injector cleaners you should never buy and which 3 are actually worth your money.